9:30 on this Tuesday, and you know what time? You know what that means, rather. What that time means? It's another first alert weather extra. So we're going to be talking a bit about some temperature swings here. We have days in the 80s, nights in the 40s. We are going to chat about our shower chance. We have one over the next 7 days, as well as what we're expecting as we get closer to the end of the month of September. So a lot of goodies in here, and we'll begin with the high temperatures today. It was actually a fairly warm day in some parts of the state, making it to 77 in New Haven and Windsor Locks, which is, believe it or not, a degree above where we typically would be this time of year. 69 today in Groton, the cooler spot, 74 in Putnam, 76 in Salisbury, 75 in Torrington. This will be our fourth day in a row now with temperatures running seasonably warm. Yesterday, we made it to 80 degrees for the Hartford area, but something we haven't seen as of late, showers. Our last time that we had some measurable rain outside of that rogue shower that popped up Sunday was over a week ago now, on the 7th, the weekend of the 6th and 7th, of course, much more active when that cold front came through. We had strong, even severe weather, storms, I should say, and we had certainly a lot of rain associated with that. So when it comes to our rainfall so far this month, here's what we're looking at. Deficits for the Hartford area down about 0.38 inches, with a deficit, or rather a surplus since the start of the year, 2.38 inches. So if you go all the way back to the start of 2025, we're still actually running a little bit above normal for the Hartford area. Not the case in Bridgeport. We have a small deficit for the month and for the season, the start of meteorological fall, which was back on September 1st. But look at the start of the year. We have over a 10 3/4 inch deficit now for Bridgeport. So we certainly could use some rain across the state, and we will get our chance at least at some isolated showers tomorrow. Here's the current drought monitor. The next one will be issued on Thursday morning. So we'll be watching closely to see if there are any big changes across the state. We'll take you to First Alert Futurecast here for the rest of the night. Clouds will just thicken up, continuing to build, becoming mostly cloudy later on tonight. And then we'll start to see these isolated showers begin to develop tomorrow morning. And they'll be very isolated in nature through about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Thereafter, we'll start to see a little bit more in the way of coverage, but still these showers will remain pretty isolated, pretty light. We are certainly not looking at too much of an impact on any plans you might have tomorrow. Extracurriculars for the kids, sports outside, whatever it may be. We're not looking at much of an issue for those events that will be going on. And we'll see these isolated showers keep pushing north 6 o'clock through 8 o'clock. Then things will start to fizzle out. We might see a few more showers overnight tomorrow into Thursday morning. But we very quickly will dry things out on Thursday with a lot of sunshine expected later on. So tomorrow is Connecticut Day at the Big E. Not great to have those isolated showers around, but thankfully we are not looking at much of an impact overall. So if your plans take you to West Springfield, here's what we're looking at. Some breaks of sunshine, temperatures peaking in the mid-70s. Pretty seasonable for this time of year. And we'll watch those temperatures fall off into the mid-60s if you stay until things wind down late tomorrow night. Showers will be isolated in nature. This doesn't look like the type of event where you have to plan to bring an umbrella. If a quick shower moves over, you can always just hop into one of the buildings. Here's First Alert Live radar right now, scanning clear and dry, so no showers to track within our borders. And if we show you the regional satellite and radar, you can see the cloudiness to our south and the northern rain bands of an area of low pressure that's currently near the Virginia-North Carolina border, near Virginia Beach. That's bringing showers to parts of Delaware, southern New Jersey, into the greater Philly area, into Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And those are the showers that will eventually pivot north and work their way into Connecticut. 59 right now in New London, winds out of the northeast at 6 miles per hour. We'll take you live to the Elm City overlooking the green here. Great visibility out there, 67 degrees. Big difference in temperature just from southeastern Connecticut to, say, points west, New Haven, and especially points southwest. Our ICAM view of Middletown looking north here. We still see some cloudiness there in the sky, and we expect those clouds to thicken up as the night goes on, but visibility is excellent right now. We'll take you live to downtown Hartford, 64 degrees, winds out of the east at 3 miles per hour, and we'll finish off looking live over Bradley International. Still a lot of green if you could see those trees, but that could start to change here pretty soon. We typically start to see a lot more color over the next couple of weeks when it comes to our fall foliage, with the peak, especially for the Hartford area, typically mid to late October, so another month or so from where we are right now. Temperatures really all over the place depending on where you are, from 57 in Norwich and Putnam to 67 in New Haven It is still 68 degrees in Bridgeport, 62 in Waterbury, 59 in Torrington and Bradley, 58 in Willimantic right now, 59 in Groton. So temperatures will keep on falling before eventually reaching a plateau. And the reason for that is because of the increased cloudiness. So here's what we're expecting for low temperatures tonight. About 50 to 55 throughout the Litchfield Hills. Northern parts of Litchfield County closer to 50. Southern parts likely in the mid-50s. Even Woodbury, 56 degrees overnight tonight. 53 in Bristol and Canton, 54 in Windsor, and 52 in Suffield tonight, 54 in Glastonbury and New Britain. Ellington, 52, 53 in Stafford, 53 in Hebron. Storrs coming in at 52, 54 tonight in Plainfield. Colchester, 55. Jewett City, 53. Uncasville, 55. Mystic, 55. Old Saybrook, 58 tonight, 56 in Haddam, and 55 in Portland. 59 in Madison, 56 in Wallingford, 60 in Brantford, 59 in Milford, 55 in Naugatuck. So temperatures about 55 to 60 in southern Connecticut, 50 to 55 in the northern part of the state. If you were planning to head out, hit the links tomorrow. Maybe you have an early tea time. Looks like the weather will mostly cooperate. We will have the risk for some isolated showers around dawn, and that risk will increase as the day goes on. So if you're hoping to get around in after work tomorrow, while temperatures will be at their peak, maybe a little more comfortable out there with temps in the lower half of the 70s, that is when we perhaps run a greater risk of some of those isolated showers sneaking through. So here's the big picture as high pressure moves out over Nova Scotia and points east and away from the United States. We will see that low start to move closer and closer to us. So it passes by offshore, say later tomorrow afternoon, and eventually moves away from us entirely, and we will not see much of a chance except for isolated showers. Really not much in the way of mugginess to speak to over the next few days. And look at that big drop Friday into Saturday. That will mark our next frontal passage. With the showers around tomorrow, not much of an issue when it comes to pollen counts. They are fairly low, but that continues for Thursday and Friday. Ragweed and grass is certainly the big pollens this time of year. If you have pollen allergies, you already knew that because we've dealt with them in higher concentrations earlier, but we get a bit of a break right now. There are two areas of low pressure that the National Hurricane Center is tracking. The one that's in the central part of the Atlantic is actually has a high chance of becoming named here in the next 7 days. The one behind it, a lower chance for the time being. As the environment becomes more favorable and it moves west, it perhaps could have a higher chance of becoming named. We'll be watching very closely. But either way, certainly plenty to track in the tropics. Thankfully, both of these look like, at least at this point in time, they will not have much of an impact to any land. So we'll be watching that very closely. Next name on the list is Gabrielle, followed up by Umberto. We have had 6 storms this season so far. A little bit slow compared to where we typically would be at this point in the season. One major hurricane, that was Aaron, which did peak at Category 5 intensity. So tomorrow is Connecticut Day at the Big E. There might be some isolated showers out there, but otherwise we are looking at a very, very nice day. Temperatures peaking in the mid-70s, pretty typical for this time of year. 80 on Thursday with increasing sunshine, 82 on Friday. Look at that, 49 Saturday morning. And we'll see temperatures recover into the 70s in the afternoon, lower 70s. That is seasonably cool out there Saturday, 72. Inland, we're forecasting 47 overnight into Sunday, and then 75 during the day Sunday. Now, the autumnal equinox occurs on Monday at 2:19. So fall officially begins, astronomical fall that is, begins on Monday with temperatures back into the low 80s next Tuesday. Shoreline highs, 71 tomorrow, 78 on Thursday, 83 Friday, 71 Saturday, 72 Sunday, back into the upper 70s next week. Now, on the 6 to 10 day outlook, this is the 22nd through the 26th, shades of orange and red indicating the higher likelihood that temperatures perhaps remain above average. So maybe things will be a little bit milder as we get closer to the end of the month. What we will also see more of at the end of the month is pictures like this. Jim snapped this picture in Canaan of some foliage, and we're starting to see more and more of that, especially in the higher elevations. And we are expecting to see some updates here on our foliage reports. We will bring those to you over the next several weeks as they become more relevant, so be sure to keep an eye out there. Something else that we'll be seeing is more and more of these early sunsets. The sunset getting earlier and earlier. We had our final 7 o'clock sunset of the year yesterday. Today, the sunset at 6:58. Next 7 p.m. sunset will not be until the middle of March, about 6 months from right now. This sunset was captured by Sue at the Baltic Reservoir in Sprague. So certainly a nice evening to be outdoors, and we are looking ahead to another very nice stretch here. Showers tomorrow, very isolated in nature. If you have mums, you'll have to get out there and do a bit of watering. We hope you enjoyed this first alert weather extra. The next one is tomorrow morning right here on WFSB Plus in the WAC. Actually just WFSB Plus, streaming live at 8 a.m. and we'll be back here tomorrow at 9:30. In the meantime, you can catch us on the WACs at 10 and on Channel 3 tonight at 11. Have a great night, and we hope you'll join us later on tonight and again tomorrow.